The Bamboo and the Storm. In a quiet village surrounded by tall mountains and flowing rivers, there lived a young boy named Aarav. He was curious, kind, and full of dreams, but life had never been easy for him. His family was poor, working tirelessly in the fields, just enough to have food on the table. Every evening, Aarav would watch his parents' tired faces and wonder if one day he could build a life different from theirs, a life filled with hope, learning, and creation. From a very young age, Aarav loved to observe. He watched how the wind danced through the trees, how the rain flowed down the slopes, and how the river cut its path through rocks. While other children played games, Aarav collected stones, twigs, and scraps of wood. He began making tiny models of houses, imagining structures that could withstand storms and last for generations. The villagers laughed at him. "Why waste your time with toys? Focus on real work," they said. But Aarav did not stop. Deep inside, he knew that one day, his small efforts would matter. One summer, when Aarav was 14, the village experienced its first great storm in decades. The sky turned dark, thunder roared, and rain poured down in sheets. Winds ripped through the village, breaking roofs, tearing down walls, and flooding the fields. Many families were forced to take shelter wherever they could, fearing that their homes might collapse at any moment. The next morning, the sun rose, revealing destruction everywhere. Houses were broken, trees uprooted, and the river had overflowed, carrying away the bridges. Villagers were distraught, blaming fate and nature for their suffering. But Aarav noticed something different. A small bamboo hut at the edge of the village stood nearly intact. Its walls were bent, but they had not broken. Its roof was twisted, but it had not fallen. Aarav studied the hut carefully. The bamboo had bent with the wind instead of resisting it, and that had saved it. From that moment, Aarav understood something important. Strength was not always about resisting. Sometimes it was about bending without breaking. He returned home with a new determination. He studied bamboo, wood, clay, and stone. He experimented with different designs, building small models and testing them in the rain, in wind, and even by dropping heavy stones on them. Each failure taught him a lesson, and each lesson fueled his passion. Years passed, and Aarav grew older. Though many children of the village had chosen simple paths, working in fields, becoming carpenters, or leaving the village for nearby towns, Aarav continued to follow his dream of creating structures that could withstand storms. People still laughed, but he didn't mind. He had learned that patience and perseverance mattered more than approval. At 18, he left the village for a nearby city to study architecture. There he faced new challenges: complex mathematics, advanced construction techniques, and competition from students who had more resources than him. He struggled at first, often failing exams and staying up late at night to understand what he had missed. But he remembered the lesson of the bamboo. He bent when life pushed him down, but he never broke. Aarav spent years learning, experimenting, and improving. He designed houses that were not just strong, but flexible. Houses that could sway with the wind and remain unbroken during storms. He shared his designs with engineers and builders, and slowly, his ideas gained attention. One day, the city faced a devastating storm, far worse than any in recent memory. Winds howled, rain flooded streets, and many buildings collapsed. But the houses built using Aarav's designs stood firm. People who had once doubted him now admired his work. Villagers, seeing the news, felt proud of the boy who had once collected sticks and stones to build tiny models in the rain. Aarav realized that life was much like the bamboo. Everyone faces storms, loss, failure, rejection, and fear. Some break under pressure, but others bend, adapt, and survive. Strength is not stubbornness. Strength is resilience. Strength is patience. Strength is the ability to bend when life pushes you down and rise stronger when the storm passes. Over time, Aarav became a respected architect, known not just for his designs, but for his philosophy. He traveled to villages and towns, teaching children to observe, to experiment, and to never stop learning. He reminded them that every challenge was an opportunity to grow. Every failure was a lesson, and every storm was a chance to become stronger. Even in his old age, Aarav never stopped building, never stopped dreaming. He knew that life's storms would always come, but he had learned to face them with courage, patience, and flexibility, just like the bamboo. And so, The boy who once collected stones and twigs in a small village became a symbol of hope for generations. His story reminded everyone that dreams were worth pursuing, no matter how impossible they seemed, and that true strength lies in the ability to bend without breaking.